data collection method that Chapter 1 gets into is observational studies. And I got right here from page 9, the definition from page 9 in 1.1. An observational study observes individuals and measures variables of interest, but does not attempt to influence the response. This becomes very important when we're talking about the differences between experiments and observational studies, because experiments will do something to change the outcome, and observational studies are just what it sounds like. Observational studies are just looking at something, watching something. Like if you read the book, it talks about how Jane Goodall used observational studies when she was viewing the chimpanzees. That's when you don't want to change the outcome, you just want to see what is already happening. Okay? I have a star right here. The purpose is to describe some group or situation. Okay? So let's look at the example, 1.4 on page 9, pain and suffering. And in that example in the book, it talks about people hurt in traffic accidents, and they actually recover more quickly when they cannot collect money for their pain and suffering, and that is right here. Now, can we view, what it's saying is, are they actually recovering more quickly, or they're just not going to court to charge for their pain and suffering? Read through this 1.4 example. It's pretty interesting, but what we really want to talk about is down here. Why didn't the Saskatchewan government conduct an experiment to test their hunch? Okay, that's the question. Why didn't they? And the answer comes, I wrote down the question right here. The answer comes because some accident victims would receive compensation and some would not. And ethically, that's an objection that they had, ethical objections, and they talk about that not much in the rest of 1.1, but when we get into more of the experiments, they really hit on what is ethical and what is not, and the government actually controls what type of experiments you can do and what you can't based on these things. So please make sure that you have done the guided reading notes on this and read through the chapter without me just sitting here explaining it, and then we will move on to the next section, which is samples and populations.